Hello, football managers, and welcome to episode 3 of CommunityFM. Just to give you a quick update, I have changed a couple things, nothing major. It was suggested yesterday, and I agreed. I changed my mind actually after I uploaded the video yesterday. I included all leagues in the sim, so you have a much wider player base to work with. I'm only going to be simming a week at a time, so I figured it'd be a lot easier, a lot better. To include all the clubs. The loading will take a little bit of time, but you guys don't have to worry about that. I'll edit that out. So that got changed, and then I haven't changed it yet, but I thought of an idea for transfers. I feel like it'll work better. So to sell players, it's very easy, very quick. With the voting process, you just vote on which players to transfer list. I transfer list them. We get an offer. I put it up for vote. Boom, easy, done. Buying players, however, is going to be a lot harder because you have to decide which players to go after. You scout them, you make an offer, you do all this stuff, and it kind of would take a lot of time as far as like having to vote and then sim and then vote on a different thing and then sim. So I kind of thought of a better way to do that. So I'm going to address that in a little bit here. Basically, what we're going to do today, we're very close to simming forward. Bear with me. You've been patient so far. It's been going well. Just kind of give me some time here. Going well so far. We're going to hopefully sim forward. If not tomorrow, the next day. I just kind of figure out a few last of the kinks. But we're definitely moving forward. So today we're going to handle transfer stuff. So yesterday we kind of figured out the roster and everything. So now we're going to handle transfer stuff. We have voted on the players to sell. Or the players to at least transfer list. And remember, if you don't want to transfer list these players, or if you don't want to sell these players, rather, if you didn't vote for it, you will still have a chance to not sell them because once we get an offer, we're going to vote whether or not to accept it. If you want to keep that player, just vote no. It's as simple as that. So don't be too discouraged if a player that you didn't want, posted is being transfer listed. So we have 3 players that met the criteria to be transfer listed that I kind of decided on percentage-wise and everything. Just looking at the number of votes and kind of the percentage for each player. So those are the backup goalkeeper, Khaled Al-Rashidi. He will be transfer listed. Okay, and then, oh, by the way, we decided, so part of this, we decided, or you guys decided rather, pretty heavily in the vote, to remain with the 4-2-3-1 attacking. So you do want to keep that formation despite Forest not having the best equipped roster for it. So we are going to have to make some adjustments in the window, which is easily doable. So that kind of goes towards it. And then the other 2 players that are transfer listed are Marcus Tugay and Darius Henderson. So those are the 3 players that you guys decided to transfer list. So we're going to throw them up there. Makes sense. 4-2-3-1. We have 5 strikers down here. You certainly don't need 5 strikers in a 4-2-3-1. So we'll keep 3, Cox, Sharp, and Blackstock. Sharp, I believe, is injured right now. Or no. No, he's healthy. Never mind. So we have 3 strikers still. I mean, we still have those other guys, but, you guys are looking to move them on. So basically what we're going to do today, I'm going to talk a little bit about the transfer market and how we're going to handle that. All right, so here's how we're going to handle the transfer market. I know you guys just want to get to games, which, trust me, I do too. So I'm going to try to speed up the process a little bit. I'm going to kind of act as almost an advisor, one of your backroom advisors, and kind of make certain decisions and then vote based on those decisions to kind of speed things up in the market here. So we're running a 4-2-3-1. So like I said, we're good at striker. You guys listed Henderson and Tudgay, but that still leaves us with 3. So we're fine there. So we don't need to get a striker, I don't think. Central defense, we're all right there. Halford is quite good. Collins is our captain. Ayala is a very promising young player. Same with Lascelles. So I think we're okay there as far as rotation options. We're in the championship, so we don't have to worry about Europe or anything like that, just the occasional cup. So not too much worry in the way of rotation. Right back, Yara is very quality for the championship when he's kind of minding his fingers. Halford, you can move him over. Hutchinson's a capable enough backup. I think we're all right there for now. Collins is our captain at left back. Harding is a decent enough rotation option. So along the defensive line, I think we're all right. Normally, I'd probably actually get a left back here, as either a start or maybe a little better quality or whatever the case may be. But in the championship, with not a huge transfer budget, there's some stuff we're going to have to do to fit our formation. So I think we're going to have to kind of worry about that first. Central midfield, we're more than fine. We got a bunch of guys that can plug in here. So now here is where the problems come into play and why I left it for last. Left wing, Andy Reid can play there. If you look at his, he can play there. He's got some good attributes. His crossing's good, his dribbling's good, passing's good. He can play there. He's also 29, so not a ton of time, left there, but he'll do a good enough job. He can play there in a pinch, but it's not ideal. So I think we're going to have to address pretty much all of the front three here as I go across. Simon Cox is by far our best attacking central midfielder, but he might be our starting striker. He's really a quality striker. So that leaves McGugan and Cohen, who also might be central midfielders. They're better there. So we really don't have an out-and-out guy that's going to be our central attacking midfielder. And then on the right, we have nobody. So basically, we're going to want to get starters and or depth across, this attacking midfield three. The rest were okay. We're going to need a goalkeeper because we transfer lifted Al Rashidi. It looks like we're going to go with Darlow as our starting goalkeeper and kind of ride his potential. Maybe get a lower grade goalkeeper as a backup. But we're going to have to address this attacking midfield three. So what I'm going to do, and I think this is the best way to handle this for time concerns, so I don't have to take up like 3 sims deciding who to go after and then putting offers in and all that. So what I'm going to do instead, as I go here, is I am going to scout players, move and sim forward in the game to get their scouting report and kind of show you guys their scouting report and all that. And then you guys can decide by way of vote, once we have that information, who to put offers in for. So for those of you that haven't played the game, when you scout a player and then move forward, your scout comes back to you with whether or not he thinks the player will be willing to join, at what price they think the club would sell, at what price he thinks the player would sign a contract. So I'm going to move forward in the game, but not save it. I'm just going to move forward to get that information, and then I'm going to present that information to you guys and let you decide on who you want to sign. So I'm going to cut the I'm going to edit the clip here to kind of jump forward, but basically that's what I'm going to do is just get that information for you guys so that you can make an informed decision and we can kind of move a little more quickly about who we want to sign. I'm going to give you plenty of options. I'm going to scout a whole bunch of guys and give you probably 10 to 15 options at each position, and then we can kind of make a decision from there. Alright, so here we go. I got the reports rolling in. For those of you that haven't played the game is extremely realistic. So one of the problems with being a championship team is that it's very hard to get work permits. Very, very hard to sign people from outside of England. So I tried to stay mostly in England with my scouting, just to make it kind of easier. It's probably what's going to work best. So here are some of the players. So this is Liam Feeney. So I'm going to kind of I'm going to show you his page and then we'll talk about what he's available for. So he is a right winger. So like I said, we need people on the right side. So he's a right winger. Those are his attributes. Take a second to look at those and I'll go back. He would be interested in joining the club. He would be available for between £750,000 and £1.2 million. And his wages between $8,000 a week and about $12,000 a week. So that is Liam Feeney. We have James Coppinger, who is also a right winger. So those are his attributes. You can pause and look at those. He would be interested. He'd be available for between 2.3 and 3.5, and he would ask for between 7.5 and 11,500 per week. Remember, speaking of how much would be available for, our transfer budget is 6.75 million right now, 6.75 million pounds. But we are looking to sell a few people, so that might go up a little bit. Our wages are actually fine. We have plenty available in wages. It's our transfer budget that we have to kind of keep an eye on. So this is Jim O'Brien, who's also a right winger. So those are his attributes. And then he would be interested in joining the club, be available before between 1.2 and 1.7 million, and would be looking for somewhere between 8,000 and 11,500 per week. Then we have J. Emmanuel Thomas, who would be a central attacking midfielder, but could play really anywhere across the front. Very versatile player. Those are his attributes. He would be interested in joining, be available between 3.8 and 5.5 million, so obviously a little more expensive. And then between 10 and 14,500 per week. And the scout believes he would be regarded as an important player should we decide to sign him. Harry Forrester is the next one. He plays central, but again can play anywhere across the front really. Got his attributes here. He would be interested in joining the club, available between 2.7 million and 3.8 million, and 9,000 and about 13,000 per week is the range. Paul Gallagher, central midfielder, but again can play across the three, so versatile. Those are his attributes. Would be interested, available for under $1 million. But he would be asking for higher wages, 17.5, 24 per week is his range. So less of a transfer fee, but more wages. Dean Cox, left winger, which I said we have Andy Reid for right now, but he's not really great there. It says Cox would be even better as an inside forward too, so that's something to consider. He is right-footed, playing on the left wing, so that's something to consider. Would be interested in joining, 1 million to 1.5 million, and then somewhere between 5.5 to 8,000 per week. Paul McGowan, central attacking midfielder. Can give you a second to look at his attributes. Would be extremely interested in joining, between 1 and 1.5 million pounds, and then between 3.3 and 4.5 thousand per week, so much lower wages, I guess, because he's extremely interested in joining. Joe Newell, left winger. Check out that stuff. He'd be extremely interested in joining. 2.8 million to 4.3 million is the transfer window, and then 6.5 to 10,000 per week is the contract window, or the range rather, I guess. Rafael Diaz, he's Portuguese, playing in France right now. I believe that's where that is. He would not be interested in a transfer, but he'd be interested in a loan, so that's something to consider. Again, work permit might be kind of an issue, but it's something to consider. Lee Grant, keeper. So like I said, we need another keeper, either backup or maybe if we want to pay a little more and get a starting keeper. So you can look at his attributes there. He would be interested, 1.4 million to 2.2 million, and 14,000 to 22,000 per week would be the ranges for the transfer. Dean Gherkin, another keeper. He'd be more of a backup keeper, so we could get him cheaper maybe. Would be interested, 400,000 to 625,000 is the transfer range. 5.75 to 9,000 per week is the contract range. Again, more of a backup keeper. Owen Fon Williams, keeper. Again, probably more of a backup keeper. They didn't give a range on him, but you can see his attributes. Probably wouldn't be too expensive. It says his value there is a little less than $500,000, so that'll give you an idea, even though we didn't get really in the report. Jamie Jones, keeper, again, more of a backup keeper. A little under $500,000 value. Again, didn't really give anything for the scouting report, but that's an idea. And then the last one is Richard Lee, again a keeper. Attributes there, a little about 375,000 value, but they did for this one, so he'd be extremely interested in joining. 220,000 to 350,000, and then 3,000 to about 5,000 per week are the ranges on the transfer. Again, maybe if we're looking for a backup keeper, maybe we go cheaper with this guy. So, that's definitely an option. So, pretty much all we're going to do today is that I am going to put up all of these players that I just kind of detailed. I'm going to group them by position, and you guys are going to vote on who you would like to go after. So it's going to be an open-ended vote again. So you're going to vote on who you would like to pursue, and I will take the top. So I'll take the top one keeper, and then I might take the top 3 or 4 attacking midfielders because we really need a lot along that attacking front. And then anything else we need, like I said, I'm not ruling out if we do end up wanting to go after a left back or maybe center back depth or something like that. We will definitely address that later in the window. But for now, I want to focus on stuff we badly need and hopefully start moving forward in the sim very, very soon. Like I said, I know we want to get to the games. I do too. So we're going to try to move forward with the sim here. And I will let you guys vote on who to go after in the transfer window. And that's what we're looking at for today. So make sure to vote. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go follow the Twitter, all that good stuff. We're going to make this grow. Hopefully we can make it huge. The voting is still excellent turnout. So really excited about that. So do all that good stuff. Check out the subreddit, all that stuff. Make sure to keep watching the videos tomorrow. We will move forward, hopefully sign a couple players, and get to the friendly. That's what we're looking to do tomorrow. So please get on and vote. Let's get this moving. And thanks for watching.